My milkshake brings all the people to the rally.
Now let us travel to the beautiful, beautiful land of Britain and learn a bit more about their elections. Should you care? No, probably not. Is anything going to change? No, probably not. Did any resemblance of hope in the form of Jeremy Corbyn die out when he was ousted from British politics? Yeah, pretty much. Is Labour now almost as right-wing as the Tories? Yeah, pretty much. Is the UK a country that has had an unelected leader for a few years now, extremely hypocritical for calling out other leaders for not being elected? Yeah, pretty much. But hey, it's the English, so let's pour down a cup of tea and listen to an American Englishman tell us about UK elections.
Our main story tonight concerns the UK, the #1 study abroad destination for
Beautiful mods, if you could adjust the title, I would love you very much. Thank you very much.
Americans who refuse to learn in
My beautiful mods, also known as the Pokemon. I collect them and I put them in small basements. Like I have basements underneath my basement that was given to me by JT from Second Thought, where I collect all my Pokemon. It's not in Pokeballs, it's in basements, because I have labor rights that I need to support, and a Pokeball is far too small. You make them fight each other too all the time.
The UK is in the middle of an election right now, which is Prime Minister Rishi Sunak called back in May, for some reason in the middle of a torrential downpour.
With few moves left to play, it was time to roll the dice.
Brother, how am I even supposed to take these f***ing Englishmen f***ing seriously? They don't even have a big White House, brother. They just have a little apartment in the side of a street, and you're running a government.
Earlier today, I spoke with His Majesty the King to request the dissolution of Parliament.
The king, Rishi Sunak went to the king. He was talking to the king, and the king just turned to one of his servants, and I was like, "Why is the a boy talking to me? Who let the water boy inside? I thought all the water boys are outside to give me my when I shoot the pigeons."
This election was something of a surprise, though, and if you're confused how that can be, in Britain, the Prime Minister can call an election whenever they want, as long as there is one every 5 years. Like many things, the way
John Oliver,
Britain
cock of
operates
capitalism.
is
No,
kind of like
we call him our favorite liberal because he always does incredibly decent reports on whatever is happening all around the world, and then has the most cucked and basic conclusions towards the end, right? Noam Chomsky, it's a good British accent, but not posh enough. You're sounding like one of the poors. I can't help it. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're originally one of the poors, you're originally one of the poors. My ethnicity is proletarian. Jesus Christ, look at this man. The umbrella, the piece of paper. My bra brought out a piece of paper in the rain right in front of the British white apartment. It's awesome.
How's it gone down with his MPs?
Badly.
Look, first, I don't want to read too much into this, but the fact that both of them were ostentatiously holding large umbrellas there feels like a pretty clear dig to me. But second...
Like, with all the wealth you stole from the world, you couldn't build a freestanding building, you fucking schmucks. Do they even have buildings in Britain? Yeah, it's all bogs. What was that old quote, Roman quote about British people? Somebody send me the link, please. Trad, brown Indian Hindu ruling over white Christian, PDF files. What a turn of events.
Some have even said that this election could be an extinction-level event for the Tories.
No, they'll just change. They'll get Labour, which is Tories light at this point. Like, fuck are we talking about? If you want, like, British politics and shit, this is the best person by far. No Justice MTG. She's really fucking good.
After he was found to have watched pornography on his phone in the House of Commons. And his excuse for that was genuinely amazing.
And speaking of things that are worse than the English, ads are going to play in exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds. They will try to tell you that tea and biscuits is good, that listening to the governor is good, that consuming the American version of tea and biscuits, also known as McDonald's, is good. Well, you can get away from that for $5 a month, free through Prime, while also supporting this fledgling channel or gifting it to someone else. So, American tea and biscuits or communist propaganda? The choice is yours. Thank you very much.
Funnily enough, it was tractors I was looking at, and so I did get into another website that had a sort of very similar name. On another occasion, I went in a second time.
And that was deliberately.
That was deliberate.
Oh, there you go. Somebody found the actual quote, but not the video. But that's okay. Thank you, BNNI Venom. Herodian writes as well of Severus in Britain. Most of Britain is marshland because it is flooded by the continual ocean tides. The barbarians usually swim in these swamps or run along in them, submerged up to the waist. Of course, they are practically naked and do not mind the mud because they are unfamiliar with the use of clothing. Some of the original interactions with what became the tribe that conquered the world. The rest of us should feel ashamed, okay? These are the people that created the empire on which the sun never sets, okay?
One of his new bold campaign ideas is to bring back mandatory national service for 18-year-olds.
Sorry to be breaking into your usual politics-free feed, but I'm making a big announcement today, and I've been told that a lot of you already have some views on it.
My boy, like, you've been a fucking leader for years now. You don't know how to read from a teleprompter. I've been a Twitch streamer for half a year. I can't say teleprompter. Jesus Christ. Teleprompter. Okay. God, what the fuck? I didn't know that was going to be the word I'd fucking stick on.
I'm not sending everyone off to join the army. What I am doing is proposing a bold new model of national service for 18-year-olds. They'll be able to choose to spend 12 months in a full-time military commission or 1 weekend per month volunteering in roles within your local community, like delivering prescriptions and food to elderly people or in search and rescue.
That's what the draft, like, is and used to be in the Balkans. What the fuck? What a plot twist, bro. Yo, bro, I gotta migrate to the West because I don't want to be drafted. West proceeds to draft you.
Or search for bodies in the Thames. Just classic things 18-year-olds love to do.
Here, if you didn't want to go to the army and serve your, like, mandatory period, you would, like, be the guy that rings the bell in the school, or you would be the guy that mops the floors in a hospital, etc., etc. That's literally just the draft. And obviously you would get a lot of social stigma against you. Brat, why does he want to draft teens instead of establishing social services to make Britain less shittier? Are they gonna fight immigrants? Nope. Duh, Russian hordes are coming, my brothers. That's the pitch. But it's not working because people aren't patriotic anymore because people can't fucking afford food, dude.
There's the Liberal Democrats, the traditionally centrist party. They are unlikely to win overall, and because of that, seem to mainly be focusing on having fun, pushing their leader Ed Davey to do multiple stupid stunts like going down a water slide, falling off a paddleboard, and doing look ma no feet on a bike.
They're just silly British boys.
What about the economy? What are you doing?
Like we said yesterday, cinema, kino. The little kids, they're like funny TikTok videos. So let's go and circle around in big teacups, and the kids are gonna actually listen, bruv.
You know, we've got great policies for the economy, including the cost of living.
I'm glad Ed Davey is having fun, but the fact is his party is still going to lose the election!
Just do a TikTok dance in front of a genocide. Crazy comeback. Remember when he actually got the UK out of the EU and he made so much fucking money out of it? He quite literally said, okay, I'm done with this shit. I made my fucking buck. I don't care about anything. I'm leaving.
It seems not everyone's a fan of their approach.
Trust me, just wait a little bit more. And Brexit is going to sound like a great idea. Just wait a little bit more. British old people. Yes. British old people having to decide between their hatred towards Romanians and basic life standards. Okay, I choose to have no basic life standards as long as the Romanians don't have any either. Coming back from the pub and seeing Nigel Farage and being like, nah, the caffeine isn't worth it. Let's go, baby.
My milkshake brings all the people to the rally.
I hate that man so much. There is, and I'm not exaggerating, no one on earth more deserving of being milk-shook than Nigel Farage.
Meanwhile, Sunak literally being milkshaked by God himself, you know? God pissing all over my boy.
It says something that the very day it was announced that Sunak would become Prime Minister, one news report featured this fun graphic.
Rich is the overwhelming word alongside capable, okay, good and clever.
Oh, come on, not a single slur. Yeah, right.
That word cloud also includes the words twat and cunt.
Oh.
But perhaps the clearest sign of how unpopular the Tories are is that they're about to be defeated by the Labour Party, currently led by Keir Starmer. And fun fact about Keir, there aren't any.
His only attribute is not Jeremy Corbyn. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's it.
To the extent we do know anything about Starmer, it's that he's a pretty bland centrist. Perhaps the perfect symbol of that is the fact that he unveiled his party's middle-of-the-road platform earlier this month, standing next to the word change in the smallest font imaginable.
We just do a little bit of change. We just do a little bit of change. Not scary big change, a little bit of change.
Tell us one interesting or surprising thing about yourself.
Oh, well, look, I did violin lessons with Fatboy Slim back in the day, and I'm sure some of the things... That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
This is the Theresa May running through a field moment.
And it's worth briefly revisiting all of them. Now, let's start with David Cameron. 3-time...
Oh, my favorite fail son, bro. My favorite fail son.
Cameron relied heavily on a programme of austerity.
He was basically the more attractive and less evil version of Margaret Thatcher, like more vanilla Margaret Thatcher, okay?
And he explained his cuts like
He also
this.
fucked a pig.
There are programmes that will be cut. There are jobs that will be lost. There are things the government does...
Yada, yada, yada. Socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor. Let's f***ing go.
Many government departments will have their budgets cut, on average by 25% over 4 years.
Remember when we watched the video by a fucking Angloid talking about the biggest problems that the UK is currently facing, and they said it's because there's too many regulations stopping people from building buildings. Not that you literally had a prime minister that said, oh, we just gotta cut everything by 25% and everything will be okay. Yeah, Ufigi remembers it. It was they titled it Socialist Thatcherism. I love that. That is literally the, we are governed by lizards type of moment. Like they accidentally cut to the actual people behind us, the government, and it's a lizard that like didn't sleep well at night. So when they put on their human skin, they didn't properly like fit it. So everything just looks not in place. All my skin suits are at the dry cleaners.
The Brexit referendum would later rest the question of whether Britain should leave the EU. And the infuriating thing is, Cameron himself didn't support...
Like we should thank British politicians for one thing. It was so irrational and insane that actual leftists for like 2 seconds back then were like supporters of the European Union. They were like, please don't leave. That's a bad fucking idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. Dark days back then. I remember them vividly. I would wake up in cold sweats.
Theresa May. She spent 3 years trying to hammer out a Brexit deal while also overseeing yet more austerity measures like the so-called two-child cap.
She was also weakened by episodes like the party conference speech where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Well, before her decision to step down, critics said the wheels were coming off her leadership.
She gave way to this fucking guy.
So we went from this to this. Okay, if this isn't the perfect allegory of the downfall of Turf Island, I don't know what is, okay?
Boris's handling of COVID was an unmitigated disaster. At first, he reportedly dismissed it as the new swine flu and just a scare story, with one of his advisors saying that he seemed to think COVID is just nature's way of dealing with old people.
Said the old guy.
It's Dominic Cummings.
Call him Bog Job.
You called ministers useless morons. Do you feel that you expressed your views too trenchantly?
No, I would say, if anything, it understated the position, as events show in 2020.
Nothing beats, I think, the Serbs. When COVID started, this like medical guy was standing next to the president, and he literally went out because it started in Europe, it started kind of in Italy. He went out and he said, we won't be talking about this in a week. Actually, now is the perfect time because the prices are down. Just go to Milano, like go to Italy and do some shopping because the prices are probably down on national television right as COVID was starting.
He then gave way to Liz Truss, who had the shortest tenure of any British Prime Minister in history.
My mother took me on protests. I went on marches.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about this one. I unironically forgot about this one. Like, I think the reason I forgot her, all of you are thinking it, but I'm saying it. She just looks like a younger version of Theresa May. Or I don't know, all white people look the same to me. I don't fucking know. You're telling me this is not the same person with 30 years difference? The lizard went out of this skin suit and put on a different skin suit. Have you ever seen them both in a single room together? This is the advanced analytics you come to Ugopnik for, eh?
We got an order from Italy, we shipped it as normal, and it sat for 12 weeks in different customs houses. So the reality was very different.
Okay, somebody found it. Okay, so they were in the same room at the same time. But you can't really see full scope. This could be any white lady. I don't accept this. I need better proof. I still think it's the same person. As a Balkaner, listening to them complaining about customs is funny as shit. Welcome to the third world, motherfucker.
Brexit is estimated to be costing the UK economy about £100 billion per year. Austerity might be the more insidious legacy of Cameron and his successors because it has obliterated the social safety net.
Obviously, you feel bad for all the working people of Britain. It fucking sucks. It's fucking awful. It's disgusting. But also, if you only knew that the main way to destroy the British Empire is just let the Brits govern themselves, we would have done it many years ago, sir.
The NHS has been destroyed, and now you come here for a press opportunity. Well, actually, there's no press here.
It's probably like light reflectors flashing at them. 5 guys standing there with the camera getting pointed at them like, oh shit.
More than 7.5 million people are waiting for non-emergency treatment. That is up from 2 million when Conservatives first took office.
Yeah, that's why I always give the caveat of like, sure, ha ha ha, very funny, but as always, it's just normal working people paying the fucking bill. We can't even have jokes anymore. Like, we can't even have nice things like making fun of the British for it, because even when they do a bad thing, it's still the working people eating a giant bag of dicks.
This surgeon in Lithuania apparently has a booming business treating British patients.
And about 80% are from UK. People from the UK comes because of the waiting time.
Oh Jesus, that cut, holy shit, oh my god. Whenever I have a British patient and they come for nose job, I make sure he receives no job afterwards.
And also excellent quality here, of course.
I just wish they were going to a place that's like a former British colony. You know, the peak meme of all time is American war veterans, some of them that even served in Vietnam, going to Vietnam to get surgeries and healthcare. It's...
The only foreigners I expect to be flocking to Lithuania en masse are people from New Jersey wanting to see this actual Tony Soprano statue. This is real.
Holy shit, Lithuanians did one base thing. Oh my god. Okay, my liking Baltic peoples has increased by 1%. Now my liking of Baltic peoples is exactly at 1%.
And much like hundreds of British orthopedic patients...
It's so random at the fucking train station. Imagine you're going to... You don't expect to see it. You're getting off a train and it's... Your Gabagoo is waiting over here, man. And funny enough, tomorrow I'm going to the Gabagoo land. New in Jersey, mate. So the Baltics will start properly existing when they stop being liberals like the Georgians. Yep. Hey, yo, being fucking anti-Italian over here. What, you calling the Lithuanians Italian? Because the Lithuanians are like, oh, we used to be oppressed over here in Soviet Union.
The unending parade of austerity cuts has relentlessly harmed the most vulnerable in Britain. Take Alexander...
I'm from Azerbaijan. Are we considered part of the Balkans because we are next to Turkey? Turkey is not considered part of the Balkans. But anybody else who wants to be considered part of the Balkans, including Azerbaijan, is very welcome to, okay? Turkey lost the Balkan card many a year ago, okay? I'm kidding. I love my Turks, man. I love my Turks. Can Brazil be part of the Balkans? It's already part of the Balkans. Listen, how many times do I have to say it? Balkans is a Latino Europa, okay? And South America is just American Balkans. And our Arab and Persian brothers and sisters are just the Balkans, but without alcohol. At the end of the day, everything is Balkans.
It just feels like every area has been infected by cuts. And so then I sold my TV, and I had a second-hand laptop that I sold, and I had a little yard sale.
That's why I find it difficult to like just piss on the Brexit or whatever the fuck. This is always the people that pay for the decisions of these absolute fucking disgusting gorillas.
Items and cutlery and plates and stuff, and it was still nowhere near enough.
That is appalling. They're having to sell their fucking forks to survive. So it is no wonder Britons want a change. And personally, I would want the changes to be a bit more sweeping than some of what Starmer is currently proposing.
The most leftist British politician, at least.
So if you had to describe Keir's campaign in one word?
Dull. No one really cares, because we all know he's going to win.
Maybe that is true, but after everything you've seen tonight, You can probably understand if the UK can successfully rid itself of the Tories next month, that is not a cause for a shrug. That's a cause for a celebration.
Like, always leave it to our boy, John Oliver, too. Perfect, incredible reporting. And then obviously in the end we have, I mean, to be expected, I can't shit on the guy. Like, for him to literally make the argument that, you know, oh, slight incremental change might be good. Which, sure, I guess, but is there really going to be slight incremental change? And if slight incremental change is what we're okay with, then everything pretty much in the long term stays what? Stays the fucking same. But that's, again, that's the liberal brain. You can't really fight with that when somebody doesn't have class consciousness. That's it.
July 4th, Britain has a chance to wash itself clean of 14 miserable years of Conservative rule and is
by getting Conservative rule light. Very good. We'll use a different word for austerity. For austerity.
But also was the day when Britain looked at the Conservatives, who've driven the entire country into a ditch, and said in one voice, loud and clear,
No, wait. I'm going to do it right. Wait.
Conservative rule, and is a chance it simply must take. If I may quote Bill Pullman yelling about aliens, if we do this...
I did a thing with the camera.
This July the 4th, it will finally celebrate its Independence Day.
Always these motherfuckers owned 1/3 of the world at some point, and here's the milquetoast liberal telling you to go vote because, ooh, welfare cuts. Pretty much, sir. Pretty much. Subscribe or Baby Yoda gets it. Subscribe or Baby Yoda gets it. Do you want Baby Yoda to live? You must subscribe.